Dr. John Henrik Clarke was born on January 1, 1915, in Union Springs, Alabama. His parents were both sharecroppers. He was an educator, an author, and flat out one of the greatest historians of African history all over the planet. As a child, Clarke's family faced significant financial obstacles, but despite this he attended college, receiving a bachelor's in arts from Harlem's City College in 1945. Dr. Clarke then went on to earn a master's degree in art from Columbia University in 1950, and 15 years later in 1965 he received a Ph.D. in history. Throughout his life, Dr. Clarke was passionate about spreading knowledge of African history and worked tirelessly to promote this cause. He was particularly interested in debunking the notion that Africa had no history prior to European colonization. He believed that the study of African history was essential to understanding the complete scope and contributions of the African, and all of his ensuing branches in the extended diaspora. Simply put, Dr. Clarke made it his mission to make African history of all kinds accessible to the general public. In addition to his writing ability, Dr. Clarke was a much sought-after orator and was regarded as being charismatic and extremely engaging as an educator. He taught at several institutions during his time, like Hunter College, Cornell University, and City University located in New York. Dr. Clarke's impact on the field of African and African American history was enormous. He was one of the pioneers of the Black Studies movement, which emerged in the 1960s and 1970s, and sought to reclaim the African American experience from the margins of the academic canon. Through his writing and teaching, Dr. Clarke challenged the prevailing Eurocentric view of history, and helped to crystallize the study of African history more precisely. He also made significant contributions to the broader field of history, and his work should serve as a foundational source for contemporary scholars of all backgrounds. In addition to his scholarly work, Dr. Clarke was also a political activist involved in several civil rights campaigns throughout his life. He was a founding member of the National Council for African American Studies and the African Heritage Studies Association. He was also a member of the Black Studies Department at City College in New York. Dr. John Henrik Clarke transitioned on July 16, 1998, at the age of 83. However, his legacy continues on, as he is widely regarded as one of the foremost influential scholars of African history in the 20th century. Through his writing, teaching, and activism, he helped create a new field of study, and he remains an important voice in the ongoing struggle for freedom for all people of African descent. His legacy continues to inspire and influence scholars, activists, and students, and he will always be remembered as one of the most important figures in all of African thought.